I have always been talking a lot about anime, so you might be wondering, what about manga? And yeah, I guess this might be a triggering point to some of you guys because the truth of the matter is, I don't really read manga. In fact, if you go to MyAnimeList, you would find that the only manga that I have fully completed is a series called Onideka. And if you know anything about me, you know exactly why I read that manga. It's because of some nice content. And I know over the years of watching anime, I have come across statements and suggestions by people to read the manga of a particular series because the manga is much better than the anime. And that sort of statement is not something that I can really argue about because I don't have a solid ground of judgment, okay, because I haven't really read a lot of manga. But that's not to say that I haven't actually tried to read manga. I have actually tried to read some of the manga of anime that I have watched recently or so, just to have sort of a comparison of like what they are in anime form and manga form. But there are several reasons here and there as to why I don't really read manga, and probably one of the biggest reasons for that is because there are just so many of both anime and manga. So when you look at it this way, the manga may most probably have a better story and is better than the adaptation in an anime. I can see that because when I've been scouring around and all that sort of stuff, you would find that there are so many more different manga artists than there are anime studios, because anime studios, a lot of them are in charge of multiple series, whereas manga authors are normally in charge of one or two particular series and all that, and there are so many manga artists. So when you think about it, each manga artist have time to focus on a smaller portion of a series, and so that's why they are able to give more attention to these particular series. But then again, because there are just so many of both anime and manga, that it is very unlikely that I would myself, even if I wanted to, would be able to finish the huge catalog of different shows or different books to read, basically. Okay, so why not I just stick to the one medium which I prefer and actually enjoy more? Because at the end of the day, even though manga may be considered the more superior version of consuming otaku material, so to speak, at the end of the day, all of these are still at the very base level entertainment. And I can clearly see the difference in my enjoyment level when I'm reading manga and watching anime. And when I was trying to read manga, it doesn't feel like I was engaged in it the fullest, so to speak, because maybe it's because I haven't really started reading manga in the very beginning. I only started to get into the otaku culture from anime, as many people would, okay? But I have tried to read manga, and there are just certain things here and there, such as, for example, how the panels in manga, sometimes they are able to go as small as possible to fit in as much material in it as possible, and I don't know how I feel about that sometimes. It gets a bit hard to read, okay, and sometimes I just don't like the abrupt transitions between different scenes and all that sort of stuff, okay? It's kind of a thing which you need to get used to. And this is all just speculation, but I am in the belief that a good anime adaptation, for me at least, would be more satisfying than a good manga. And sure, sometimes I do get let down to a certain anime that I watch because the outcome of the anime isn't as good as I would hope it to be. And then I would hear people saying that the manga is so much better than the anime that was adapted. And several times I do want to see how the manga is different from the anime that was adapted. I kind of end up not doing that, not reading the manga, just because there are so many anime to get through, okay? There's an endless amount of supply to whatever the heck I can watch, right? So it's like I want to distract myself with reading the manga of this anime, but at the same time there are so many anime that I need to get to, so I kind of just lean towards that way because I just enjoy watching stuff. And then of course there are times when the anime is actually really enjoyable and I really think that it's a good adaptation, so to speak, or it's a good medium that I'm consuming at that moment. But then at the same time, more often than not, you would still hear people saying that, oh, the manga is better in adapting this because they cut out certain scenes here and there. And at that point, I don't really bother. Like, if I was satisfied with what I saw in the anime, and yeah, I didn't think that I need to know more about what is going on in the background, I would normally not bother about what was in the manga. In the case of Onideka, I know I have already completed the manga, but I still wish that the manga would eventually get adapted into an anime, which I know that the chances of that happening are very slim because the series itself is really unpopular, but damn, I so wish that it actually happens. As for series that are really popular but have not gotten an anime adaptation, such as Spy X Family, Act H, and Komi-san Can't Communicate, these are series which more than likely, it's even a bigger chance that I do not want to check out the manga for these series, because considering the popularity of these series, I'm very certain, almost certain, that these series will eventually get an anime adaptation. And I know a lot of people like to meme about how Komi-san Can't Communicate won't get an anime because, it hasn't gotten an anime despite its popularity, but I'm still holding true to the fact that it will eventually, as long as it may take, will eventually get an anime adaptation, because it's a no-brainer action, because so many people know about the series, and so an anime about these series will get a lot of attention really quickly. So when it comes right down to it, probably the only way to get me to check out the manga of a certain series, I guess, or the only reason I would want to check out a certain manga series, is if the manga artist, him or herself, said that they do not want their manga to be adapted into an anime, which a clear example of that was Yotsuba. Okay, and yeah, when I found out about the fact that Yotsuba will never get an anime adaptation because the manga artist did not want the manga to be adapted into an anime, it was like, that's such a shame, okay? Because the manga artist made Azumanga Daioh, which I haven't watched entirely. I've seen part of it, okay? And I've heard that it was pretty good in general, but apparently the manga artist did not like the anime adaptation of it, so that's why that happened. But even in a situation like that, I'm like, I really want to read Yotsuba, but I kind of want to watch anime. That sort of thing, right? It's just the way that I like to consume this medium, I guess. Just saying, it's like maybe eventually I might have a higher preference towards manga, but at this moment in time, for probably the near future or whatever, okay, I most likely will be sticking to watching anime. So there you have my little rant about why I don't really read manga, I guess. This wasn't really scripted or anything, I just kind of wanted to make this video as a sort of way of coming back onto YouTube, I guess. So YouTube may have kind of messed me up with my whole channel and everything, but I kind of wanted to get some videos out so that it's not being left idle after I made the whole announcement the other day. So to end this video, I'm interested to see what you guys are more in terms of consuming the otaku medium, I guess. Are you more of an anime watcher or a manga reader? Or if you're both, what do you think about the two mediums? Which one do you actually prefer? Leave your answers in the comment section below. And with that, do stay tuned to the next time of whatever I make. Thank you for watching this video, and I'll see you guys next time.